Welcome, everyone. So good to have you here. See lots of folks in the chat. If you are here live, you will see a live chat on the right-hand side. It is great to have you here, but it would also be great to know where you are tuning in from and how many classes you taught this morning, what companies you're teaching with, how is everyone doing with the news coming down from China all about perhaps some regulations within our industry. It is a little bit concerning, and I've been reading a lot of articles this weekend all about the different potential changes that could be happening with online teaching. And I am creating some content around that coming up in the next week or so. So if you would like to express your concerns or things that you have learned over the last few days, feel free to also chat with folks in the chat. It's a great place to meet other online teachers that work for other online companies. And I just wanted to say a quick hello to a lot of you that were here early. Thank you, Casey, for being here. Lily Lucia, tuning in from Vietnam. I remember you from last week. Hey, Andrea, good to have you back. And James, and I've moved this an hour forward to accommodate for our guest who is in Australia. So it's super late over there. And I'm glad that some of you were able to make it for the first time. Like Judy is here for the first time. That's awesome. Good to have you, Judy. And Cynthia as well. I think she was here for the first time. Fantastic. Cancun. Awesome. So you are in Cancun right now. Very, very cool. Subsonic beatboxing tutorials. I remember you. Hi from England. I took one lesson this morning and have another one in a few hours. Yes, this is a beatboxing teacher. That's pretty cool. And Mary Beth tuning in from Vietnam, Virginia. 64 classes this week. Wow, that's a lot. And Maricela tuning in from Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, you have to authorize Facebook to show your name. So thank you for doing that. And Mrs. Wilson from Florida, as well as Horman, I think I'm saying that right, from Missouri, St. Louis. I had 3 classes this morning. I'm teaching for VIP kids, and I'm afraid about the changes which are coming up. I won't talk about so much the changes going on. I will say, don't panic. We don't really know how those things are going to kind of play out from the government, but they are definitely wanting to regulate some things. And tune in next week. I do have a guest on the show and we are going to be talking about the ESL industry as well as, what some of these changes might mean for us. So hello, Mary from Washington as well. Very, very cool. Well, we've got a jam-packed show, and I'm really excited to bring up in a couple of minutes Rowan Adler. So Rowan is the founder and creator of the blog loveworkathome.com. So if you are interested in working at home with other opportunities, his website is fantastic. He loves sharing how people can improve their lives and those around them with different opportunities to earn money beyond just the confines of a 9-to-5 job. And a lot of us as online teachers have been able to do that with online teaching. And I'm excited to share about different opportunities beyond just teaching online that might be a good fit for online teachers. So he's done this for himself and many others. So let's welcome Rowan to the show. I'm just going to bring this out here. Hello, Rowan.
G'day, Tim. How are you?
Good to have you here. Thanks for giving up your time. And where are you located exactly?
So yeah, well, thanks for having me. I'm in Sydney, Australia. It's not so late here. It's just after 11 p.m. But no,
yeah, that's late.
It's all good.
Super late. Thank you so much for making the time for us, and I'm excited to chat with you about some opportunities. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you kind of arrived at Love Work at Home and a little bit about Love Work at Home as well. We'd love to hear.
Yeah, sure. So I'm a structural engineer by trade. I'm only just now exiting that industry. Honestly, the story goes back to when I was 5 years old and I was walking into kindergarten kicking and screaming, and I just knew I didn't want to be there. And yeah, you'll understand why it goes back to that point in just a moment. But all through school, I just didn't want to be there. And it wasn't until my later adult life that I realized that one of my key values was freedom. Like freedom was just charging through my veins and still does to this day. And I went into the engineering industry. I kind of got nudged in that direction and thought, hey, I've got no idea what I want to do. So I'll give that a go. I've done it now been an engineer now for, 10 years, 12 years, something like that. And I knew the whole time it just wasn't quite for me, and I needed to change. So about 4 years ago, I started my own structural consultancy that was just me. I didn't have any staff or anything, and that was great. That was a huge step in the right direction because I all of a sudden I had these freedoms. You know, I wasn't every day racing to work, trying to make it on time, checking the clock, going, oh, you know, am I going to be on time? And worrying about it. And
Yeah.
that was just the feeling of getting my own clients and working with them and finding them and pleasing them and doing a good job. And it just was so much more satisfying. And I really enjoyed that. But then there was still something, there was still an itch in me that was like, you know what, it's not, I haven't solved that freedom thing yet, whatever that is.
Yeah.
And so I started looking into different opportunities. I ended up doing network marketing for about a year and I was terrible at it.
Okay.
Then, yeah, just researching. I suppose that was, even though at the end of it all, I didn't really enjoy that experience of working in a network marketing company. I came out of it. I was happy that it got me into the world of self-development and exploring different things and researching opportunities to earn money online and different avenues. Anyway, I started my first YouTube channel, which was called Your Life Designed. I did it for 1 year. I created about 70 videos and had hardly any subscribers at all. It just wasn't taking off, and I
Mm.
didn't know why. I don't know if you've heard that theory, the whole fire, ready, aim. It's all like
I haven't.
take action. It's
Yeah.
all about taking action first, and
Yeah.
then thinking about strategy and how you should actually be going about things later on. And
Yeah.
so I was all about the action. I was just go film videos, just film lots and lots of videos, just do it, get it, take action.
Yeah.
And that was great. But yeah, after the year, I thought this isn't working out. Took a step back. Then the strategy came in. Then I discovered a great course on how to start your own blog. That complemented the new YouTube channel, and that was the creation of Love Work at Home. There
Love
was,
working home.
yeah, that's right. Yep.
I'm just going to pause you for a second. I see some folks are saying your audio is quiet. If you can't hear Rowan too well, just turn up your volume a bit. I found that when I turned it up, I was able to hear him a lot better. They're saying still very quiet. Do you have an external mic or?
I do have an external mic. Yeah, I've got this little blue snowball. Let me just check.
Don't know if that's going to make it problematic for you to plug it in.
Yeah.
I tested it with you before and I thought I could hear you okay, but I can see that it is a little bit, there's several folks saying it's hard to hear you. Shannon says I can hear him fine. I think it's just a little quieter. So if anyone is having trouble hearing, just turn up the volume there and hopefully that will solve a little bit, and we'll do our best to.
You can talk a little bit louder too. I'm just trying to prop my microphone here or somewhere.
Your family's probably asleep. That might be a problem too, to talk too loud.
My wife may be asleep across the corridor, but that's okay.
Okay. I think that's a little bit better. So let's segue. So we kind of arrived at your, brief but extensive journey at kind of arriving at the blog Love Work at Home. Why did you start that? What is Love Work at Home, and how does it help people?
Yeah, so I arrived at that. One of the ways I arrived at that was by doing niche research. This course I found about starting your own blog. One of the first things you got to do is niche research. And I had a couple of different niches there. I always knew that my passion was online business, trying to help other people make that step from feeling like how I felt, which was trapped and grinding and meaningless and all those, those kind of negative things that some people feel like when they're stuck in their job. And so I knew that having made that transition from employee to a business owner, I suppose, and then getting into the online world and seeing how amazing online business can be and the scalability of it and all that sort of stuff. I just thought I need to, if I can, help some other people who felt like me, who felt stuck, and that's where my passion was. And So that's when, the whole concept of love work at home really came about. And what does it do? So, as I say in all my videos, helping people find freedom and work-life balance by sharing information on making money online, finding a work from home job, starting an online business. That's kind of the
Awesome.
three ticket items.
Okay.
As time goes by, I want to do a bit more focus on online business, but yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. So if folks are interested, we're going to jump into 5 opportunities for teachers. And I think this is going to be really helpful. If you're here live, feel free to ask questions. Rowan's going to be doing a little bit of share screen and talking about some of those opportunities. So we're going to jump right into the first one. So let's crack at the first one, Rowan.
Yeah, sure. So I have picked these based on, thinking about teachers and what they're doing and skill sets and,
Yep.
fitting these sorts of jobs in around their life and commitments and all that sort of stuff. So I have tried to put a bit of thought into that for
Yeah,
the
awesome.
role. And number one is becoming a test scorer. So as a test scoring professional, you'd either evaluate written short answer tests, essays, spoken response tests, things like that. The
Yep.
requirements do obviously vary company to company. However, some companies that hire for this role include, and I'll start sharing my screen now if I can. Share screen. That's the one. Is that
All right.
up?
Yep, there we go. So we see Pearson scoring jobs. So are these are places that teachers could go to right now to find out more about how to access these opportunities, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay,
So
cool.
Pearson is one. The other one I wanted to share in relation to test scoring or online scoring is ETS, which
Okay.
stands for Educational Testing Service.
Actually, Benjamin just said I've done that with ETS for 6 years now. Awesome. Cool.
There you go. There you go. Now, to focus on ETS in particular, they hire people to plan, develop, and score over 50 million tests every year. So, a
Wow.
huge number of tests. So, they obviously need a lot of test scorers.
Yep.
Now, you can earn money online with these guys. They have this kind of total cash compensation, which is comprised of their base salary plus or variable pay, I should say. And you can earn individual and group performance awards for being awesome at what you do, which you obviously would. Being teachers coming into this industry, I think you would have a bit of a leg up. Now, according to Glassdoor, there was another page, so that's ETS. According to Glassdoor,
Yep.
they score about $16 an hour, and our friend can, well,
Yeah, he said I've made at least $3,000 each season. So that's
okay.
That's cool.
Cool. That's good. That's good
Yeah.
knowledge.
Alejandra asked, do you need to be certified to do that?
Do you need to be certified? Yeah. Now they do have, was it ETS? Let me just, yes. Okay. So, well, hang on. I'll get to this slide in just a second. But first, I
Sure.
just wanted to, so yeah, I will answer that question in just a moment. But so they had 19 salary reviews here, as you can see down here, 19 salaries, about US $16 per hour, roughly.
Okay.
Base. That was the average base pay. Obviously, a range in there.
Yeah.
And this was with very high confidence. I don't know if that means anything
Yep.
to you, but it basically means this data is based on a large number of fresh, recent salary reports. Anyway, something to think about. So
Cool.
they offer benefits plans. And from what I've read, they really encourage the whole work-life balance, which I'm huge into, as you can imagine, and
Yeah.
community contribution. They've
Okay.
got flex times arrangements.
And totally online, totally from home, something that you could do kind of at your own pace or when the time is available for you, I suppose. The flexibility and freedom is there.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
also their health and wellness programs, volunteering opportunities. So I really see ETS as quite a progressive company. I really
Okay.
like the you know how you get a gut feel about a company.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
Yep, that one's to me it feels good.
Okay.
So yeah, obviously calling all teachers at ETS, we recruit people who love learning and teaching and strive to maintain the highest standards in the field of education. So it's got your name all over it.
Yeah, this sounds really good for teachers that want to maybe do something. A lot of us are working Chinese peak hours for students after school, and that would be like in the North American time zones up until about 9 in the morning. So a lot of teachers are often looking for daytime work, and for teachers, this sounds like something maybe you'd be interested in picking up. And I'll try to remember to put the links to these places in the description of this video afterwards. But the place is ETS, right, that you recommend looking at for test scoring?
Yep, for sure. ETS.org.
Okay.
ETS.
ETS.
Requirements. Sorry, what was that?
Yep, go ahead. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Requirements. You need to reside and perform the work within the US, Hawaii, Alaska, or Puerto Rico, I gather.
Okay.
Also pass an in-house certification once you've learned
Okay.
about the process. I'll expand on that in just a second. And also check with ETS what sort of tech setup you need, hardware, software, all that sort of stuff. I didn't want to delve too much into the really technical side of things. It's more just a bit more of a broad brush. Hey, here are some opportunities. Here are some companies. If any of those tickle your fancy, then you can obviously dive a bit deeper.
Yeah.
So in terms of another thing I like about this company is it's not just well, I don't know, it can go either way. If you're looking for something where it's kind of sign up quickly, do a bit of work, get paid quickly, that sort of thing, this one probably isn't it. This is a bit more of a this is, for example, this is the process of as it says, the process for each testing program includes the system training, the content training, then also the certification. So after completing the required certification tests online with successful results, then there's scheduling, calibration, scoring, and mentoring. So it's,
okay.
There's a bit to it. And
Awesome.
I really like that because it makes it, to me, that's a very professional company. So it's good.
Very cool. Can we jump into the second one?
Yep, absolutely. So the second
All
one
right.
is number two, knowing that you guys have a good command on the English language. Number two was freelance writing.
Yep.
And now I know this. I know that this is a high-paying job that you can do because as a blog owner, I'm coughing up for writers every month, and they produce great content, so they are worth their weight in gold. Now, as a freelance writer, you can write things like blog content that's optimized for search engines, SEO content, like what we have here at Love Work at Home. This is just an example of blog content that all the writers have written.
Yeah, just a quick little interrupt there. I have been able to, with my channel and website, have reached out to bloggers within the online teaching niche and have had a couple of blogging contracts, and they can pay quite well. And when you establish a relationship with the blog owner, it can become a nice extra opportunity. So I just wanted to throw that in there that it definitely can pay well. And if you're a good writer, and especially if you can talk about the niche of the topic, you can do quite well.
Yep, for sure. Yep. And in fact, I had an interview with an Australian blog owner, must have been either earlier in the year or late last year. And she was saying, there's probably my biggest expense is the writers. I had something like, it had just exploded to about 4 million monthly views, I think it was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that the dream?
Yeah, absolutely. She was reiterating what I was just saying, that one blog can have a whole stack of writers. So it's a big industry. I didn't realize it was this big until I became a blogger.
Right. So where can folks? Sorry, go ahead. I was just gonna say where.
Another thing that freelance writers can do is for example, web content for online magazine style websites, like Bustle, for example.
Okay.
You can become a copywriter and write for brands to market and sell their products. And you can also be an article writer, a ghost writer, or there are many niches that you can get into. Now, in our article that we've got, How to Become a Freelance Writer, we have a 7-step process that includes things like defining your niche, upskilling, there we go, somewhere in there, defining your niche, upskilling, creating a portfolio, etc., etc. I won't get into it too much. But in the same article, we've also got 4 different sites to help you actually find some freelance jobs.
Wonderful.
Now, here are the websites for anyone looking to explore where you can actually find the jobs, but iWriter.com is a good place to start.
iWriter.com.
ProBlogger.com is a great website.
Oh yes, I've heard of that one.
All three of my.
Now, what do you say? What do you say about just reaching out to, like, if you're an expert in a particular area, you love writing about something, but you know, obviously having a blog of your own helps, right? Because people can see your previous writing content. Can people just read? You know, would you recommend people reaching out to big websites that they like reading about, and maybe look for opportunities that the blogger might have to hire writers? Is that an option too?
For sure. Yep. And yes, absolutely. I think that would be great. You could possibly, that's kind of like, cold calling to find a job.
Right.
I think you have to be pretty lucky to get that.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't work out, you can have a fallback, which would be, hey, okay, can I just write a guest post for you?
A guest post, I was going to say, yeah.
And put that in your portfolio. So that's going to strengthen you for the next job that you.
Yeah, that's what happened with me. I guest wrote for several blogs, and then Teachaway, which is they're in the online teaching space. They wanted me to write regular content. So it just exactly what you're saying. It works out from offering free content and value and sharing what you can do, and then it can lead into something else.
Yep, that's it. Now, in terms of kind of compensation for this sort of industry, as you can see on pay scale here, the average freelance writer hourly pay is about $23.80 an hour. Did I know what? No, I didn't. But for some of the other professions or jobs, I've got a couple of different websites to show the compensation. But one thing you do need to keep in mind, though, is that as a freelancer, there's a very good chance that you'll actually be paid per word rather than per hour. So,
right.
I actually find it interesting that PayScale have an hourly rate here, but you know, it's something.
Yeah, maybe that's how they work it out to what it would what the time it would maybe potentially, you know, cost you to write the article, perhaps. But
for sure,
how do you pay your writer or writers?
Per word.
Per word, okay.
Yeah, per word.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's right.
See, I'm paid by the post, which is maybe another way of doing it. But I only just have this one little contract. But so there's different ways. So it's not bad though, really. I mean, you know, if it's taking you 3 or 4 hours to write the post, if depending on the word count, can be, you know, $75 to $100, maybe on the higher end or average end. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, it's so worth it for the people who need the content, because
yeah,
I started trying to write my own posts or blogs, and oh man, it just took me so long. And
I agree.
Yeah, I think I did two blogs, and I was like, no, leave this.
Lily Lucia says, great to network this way. Freelancing is a way to go, even if you do gigs, part-time teaching, tutoring, writing. That's right. And, you know, as Rowan was saying earlier, it's all about, you know, taking action and just going out there and going and getting it and figuring out what works for you. So
absolutely, give it a go. Freelancing is probably one of the, I wouldn't say it's easy to break into it because there's great writers and there are average writers and there are a lot of writers and lots of different websites, but it's, for a lot of people, I think possibly more than any other one that I know, people get into writing because they have a passion for writing, and I really like that and respect that. I've had a few people write blogs for Love Work at Home, and you can tell they're passionate about it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Now she has an economics degree, but she just loves writing. She using her degree so much, and
so flexible too.
Yeah.
Cool. Can we jump into the third one?
Absolutely. So number 3. So now I've chosen number 3 because a lot of people, what a lot of people look for is non-phone work from home jobs. That's like a common thing people are searching for. So these people might have kids floating about, or they don't have a suitable home office, or maybe they're a bit more introverted, or whatever it might be. I figured that's probably not so much the people who are tuning into this call, because, you know, as a teacher, you've got to be interacting with people live phone, online, all that sort of stuff. So number 3 is customer service or customer success. Would that be fair to say, Tim?
What's that?
The people on the call being
absolutely, yeah, for sure. It's not for everybody. That's why we're giving options and actionable ways of maybe going out and looking for these opportunities. So yeah, let's hear about what you got for customer service.
Yeah. So customer service, needless to say, this is a massive industry, and there are a huge number of opportunities in this space, many of which are part-time, which is great. So similar to freelance writing, what have I got here? Yeah, similar to freelance writing, there are a number of different options, including, as you can see here, call center agent, live chat agent, inbound customer support, customer service scheduler, fraud specialist, service manager, etc., etc. The list really does go on. Now, in terms of the requirements, it shouldn't really be much beyond what you already need for online teaching, which is another reason I wanted to throw this one in here.
Great.
Typically, requirements include things like a dedicated home office, which is away from noise and interruptions, dedicated phone line, high-speed internet, updated PC.
We're all good at that for sure. Online teachers kind of naturally have that all set up. So that's a great, great, easy, maybe an easier transition in terms of the requirements. Yeah.
For sure. Yep.
What is this website, Rowan? I'll put this.
This is love work.
Oh, that's at your blog, is it?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
15 sites to find the best remote customer service jobs.
Okay, cool. So it's all on the loveworkathome.com blog. So if you guys are looking for some actual websites, like look at that, 15 sites to find customer service jobs. Do you have an example of one or?
Yeah, for sure. Yep. And a little tip is if you find the blog, just hit the search bar, just put in a profession and see if it comes up, if we've written a blog about it, or hit write jobs or something like that.
Yeah.
So the sites, Flex Jobs is obviously a big site. Remote Co, We Work Remotely, Concentrics. Now, obviously, I have some jobs boards, remote jobs boards in particular, but I also like to have some bit more customer service specific companies. I'm not necessarily sure that Concentrics is customer service specific. However, they employ almost 100,000 people, so they're a massive company.
Oh, wow.
Obviously need customer service representatives.
What would be the best one? Do you know what the best one would be?
Ooh,
are they kind of in order or not specifically?
Not really. I think one of the best websites for flexible jobs is flexjobs.com.
FlexJobs. Okay, I've heard of that one. Yeah.
FlexJobs or Virtual Vocations is also another fantastic one. I'm sure I've got that in the list. Yeah, Virtual Vocations is another great one. Because they are remote specific and flexible. They've got some good filters there, so you can find part-time, flexible, remote, all that sort of stuff very, very easily.
Okay. So if you've got any questions, do leave them in the chat. If you're here, you're live, so we'd be happy to answer any questions for you. This is great stuff, Rowan. Thank you. So customer service, and you were going to pay, yes.
Yep, pay. So in terms of salary expectations, pay scale, notes an average base hourly rate of about $14.60 or so. Meanwhile, Glassdoor mentions about $35K. But what I like about Glassdoor is the list of companies, which is a bit further down, so you can see who's paying the most. Check out their careers page and see if there's anything available that suits your needs at the time being.
That's great.
Yeah.
Very cool.
In terms of where else to find jobs, well, I just mentioned that in some of the blogs down here. So we've kind of covered that, and we're ready to move on to the next one, which is
awesome.
Number 4. So I put this one in because it's at the forefront of my mind at the moment.
I need that. Anyone who's doing anything needs that. A social media manager.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm trying to break into the world of Pinterest at the moment, and
yes. Oh, yes. Yeah.
Kind of struggling with it a little bit, and again, leave it to the professionals is
yes.
big motto of mine now.
Yeah.
Now,
Crystal says Flex Jobs is structured very well, user-friendly, no gigs yet, 6 months. Crystal, you been looking on Flex Jobs maybe? I don't know what you mean by that. I think that's what you mean.
Yep.
Keep at it.
Been searching on Flex Jobs, yep, because Flex Jobs is a search engine. It's a
okay.
It's like Indeed or
okay.
Yeah, one of those, but more remote specific.
So social media manager. All right.
Yes. Now, I had a writer with social media experience reach out to me not so long ago to guest post, and this is her, Maxine.
Okay.
And she wrote a helpful blog with 15 tips to help you become a freelance social media manager. Things like identifying brands to work with, outreach, building your brand, following others, knowing the platforms, so on and so forth, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of pay scale, note that this is probably the highest earner, in my opinion, on the out of the ones I'm sharing today. As you can see, pay scale is noting, in fact, both pay scale and Glassdoor are saying over 50K, 52 and 54K respectively. And to get started, well, why would you go anywhere past Love Work at Home to check out the blog? I mean, yeah, okay.
Good place to get started, just to kind of see what it's all about. I mean, people that need social media managers generally have income coming in. I mean, they're doing quite well with their brand, their business, and so they're needing someone to kind of manage that side of things so they can free them up to work on other stuff. So yeah, that's why I think it can be a higher paying position.
For sure. Yep, definitely.
Cool.
And
head to Love Work at Home for that one.
Yep, check it out. And should we go into the fifth, which is number 5, transcription. And
transcription, okay.
Yeah, so some of the more common transcription avenues include general transcription and medical transcription and legal transcription, as you can see there, which all have their own skill sets, their own requirements, their own rates of compensation, all that sort of stuff. And there are some great sites to visit that you can sign up to, such as these ones here, speechpad.com, also rev.com, I'm not sure if it's Scribey or Scribey.com. I think it's Scribey.com. Transcribe.me.com.
Scribey, like this, Scribey.com.
Yep, sorry, Scribey.com.
There we go. Okay. And so this is transcription.
Transcription. Correct.
So if anyone's not sure what that is, what is transcription?
So transcription, sometimes I get this one confused with...
I do too. Transcribing, like what other...
transcription and... I can't even remember it now. Sorry, I'm having a brain blank.
That's okay.
Yeah. But basically, it's listening to audio and typing it out. Watching videos, which obviously has audio and typing it out. So it's basically just listening to audio, typing it out. That's the upshot of it.
So it could be kind of a mundane type of job, but it could be, it's something that you could do very easily, super flexible. With some of these sites, they all operate in different ways. Some of them I quite like. Some of them will give you a big chunk of audio and you just get into it and power through it. Others will actually break an audio up to smaller chunks. And so you located a smaller chunk, you go, take your chunk, put it back, and then they actually stitch the chunks back together. Which is cool. It depends how you want to get into it. Yeah, I agree. I think it could be at times a bit mind-numbing, but it's also very flexible. It's also a great job. If you're the type of, sometimes I just get in that mode. I don't know about you two, but sometimes I just get in that mode where I'm like, just give me a single task, let me focus on it, let me nut it out for like an hour or 2 hours and run on it. Yeah. Christina asked, what was the first transcription website? I think it was Scribey. Was there another one?
Sorry, it was...
Christina asked, what was the first transcription website mentioned?
Speechpad.com.
Speechpad.com. Okay. All right. And if I'm remembering, I will put these below. I should have done that beforehand, but I forgot to ask you if there would be websites outside of yours. Is there any other website besides yours for work at home? So Speechpad.
Speechpad.com. That's the one.
.com. Okay, very good. So I'll just put that up in case people were. I think I spelt that wrong. Yeah. I am a teacher, but wait a second. I need a copywriter. There's another work at home job. Speechpad.com. There we go. Yeah. Is that speech? Is it E or EE? I'm drawing a blank now. Speech.
SPEECH.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. I sort of looked at it and thought it looked a bit weird. Okay. All right. Did you want to say any more about transcription? We gave those 2 websites. I can't remember if you covered the pay or not.
No, I haven't done that just yet. I was going to add in, if you take this,
sure.
If you get right into transcription, then having one of these little foot pads is a smart idea, because it's got software that comes with it, helps you speed things up, slow things down, edit things so that you're much more efficient. And you obviously want to do that because a lot of these companies, they'll pay you per audio minute that you are transcribing. So,
okay.
Or you can transcribe sooner, faster, more efficiently, and more accurately is another big thing that these
the better
with, then you want to be doing.
Patricia asks, is there a training or certificate required for transcription?
Ooh, good question.
And piggybacking on that, what about different equipment or software? I guess that she must mean about equipment needed for transcription. Does she cover that in the blog post there that you've got? Transcript. Right. Yeah. So if you look here, Patricia, and anyone else that's interested, that blog post has some equipment there that you need. So just like with online teaching, there's, you need a headset, you need a few little things to conduct your classes, but that'll be a good place to go and have a look.
Yep. And again, at the blog, in that little search bar there, if you just punch in transcriptionist, you will inevitably find your way to how to become a transcriptionist the smart way. And it's all
awesome.
Yep.
Very cool.
Of the pay, Glassdoor is saying US $44K per year, which is pretty good. And the scale isn't too far off. It's a little bit more conservative, but it's in the ballpark of 40 grand a year. So keep in mind, though, that these numbers are probably more for general transcription. So if you're specializing in medical or legal transcription, for example, then inevitably you'll be earning more than that.
Right. Okay. So if
experience or inclination towards those, then you can certainly improve.
Yeah, I've got a comment here from Mark. USA Customer Services, example, Roadside Motor Club and Remote Contact Tracers, 3-hour free course required for COVID-19, usually temporary assignment. That must be another potential opportunity. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. All right.
So yeah.
Anything else there, Rowan? Did you cover all the 5? I hope I didn't speed you through too fast, but I wanted to get all the ideas out there. And I'll keep you on for another minute here. If anyone has any questions, I really appreciate you, Rowan, for just doing the research and thinking about our angle as teachers and my audience and being mainly online teachers. I mentioned at the beginning of the show, there is some concern coming out about some online ESL companies in China, kind of regulating things. And I think I always talk about diversifying your income and not having just one source of income coming in, but having several. And these are the types of things that you can build for yourself on the side, and explore if they interest you. They're not for everybody, but one of them might be for you. And these are just 5. There's lots of work at home opportunities. And Rowan's blog, Love Work at Home, I'll just put that up there again. loveworkathome.com is a great place to go and check those out.
Totally agree with you, Tim, that diversifying your income streams and not relying on one source is one of the best things you can do. It just takes a bit of pressure off and a bit of freedom.
And if you get fired, I'm just talking about for online teachers, but as if you get fired or you lose your bookings or whatever happens, you sleep through your classes too many times. I mean, do you have a backup? Do you have something that you can rely on? Do you have, another income source that you can count on? If online teaching went away tomorrow for me, I have other income sources because I've worked hard at building up other things and looking at other opportunities. So check out these guys, these websites and these opportunities, because I think they could be really helpful for many of us, especially if you're concerned about what's happening right now with online teaching. Wonderful, Rowan. So thank you so much. I am going to be on your channel next week. I need to confirm with you the time again, because I was getting a little mixed up with the time zones. But I'm going to be talking about online teaching opportunities as a work-at-home job for Rowan's YouTube channel. What is your YouTube channel? Is it Love Work at Home?
Love Work at Home.
Yep. Awesome. Very cool. Rebecca says, always good to have a backup. Thank you, Rowan and Tim. From Christina, you're most welcome. Thank you, Patricia, for being here. Yeah, we had a wonderful crowd. Melinda says, are these job opportunities for Canadians? Yes, absolutely, right?
Yep, for sure. There's all this stuff exists in Canada. Absolutely.
Yeah, and really, quite frankly, any nationality, really, right?
Yep, I should. The first one, though, ETS, I think it was, the test scoring. Inevitably, there will be test scoring in Canada.
Sure.
Yeah. ETS specifically had those countries that I mentioned. I think it was.
I think it's, we've all heard about these jobs before, but what's sort of difficult is figuring out what's a scam, what's, not, where do you go to actually look for these places? Like, yeah, I know I've heard of transcription, I've heard of freelance writing, but like, where do I actually go? Who can I trust? And I think, go to loveworkathome.com, look at the resources there. You can certainly trust the information and go to those websites that are recommended. That's why I wanted to bring you on and chat about these, because when you have some references and you have some recommendations, it makes things a bit easier, and you're not sort of worried about what is this online thing. When online teaching started, everyone thought it was a scam, because how could you get paid to teach Chinese kids from home, in your pajamas at 5 a.m? It was like too good to be true, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. In fact, just the other day, I was listening. A guy popped up in my YouTube feed, and I was listening to one of his videos, thinking, I don't know much about this guy. I won't mention his name.
Yeah.
I'll give it a go and see what he's talking about. And as time started going on, I just started to realize that what he was promoting was a quintessential Ponzi scheme. It was just really bad. It had no value proposition. In other words, it was, hey, you just go to this site and you pop in your $97 and that comes to the sponsor, and that's okay. And throughout the video, he just didn't mention at all what the value was in it. In other words, what was being traded for that $97. It was
right.
It was, thank you, I'm taking your money, and maybe you can get some other people involved and you can take their money. And it was just unbelievable to see that happening. It's
you gotta be careful.
Is where trust your gut. Yeah, when you see
that's right,
and you're kind of asking yourself, I don't understand this. Then your gut feel counts for so much.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks for that, Rowan. Very, very good point. Had a couple other folks just saying hello, and thought online teaching was a scam in 2016. Yeah, very, very cool. So loveworkathome.com. Thank you again, Rowan, and really appreciate your time. I know it's late, and you've added so much value here, and I'm just thrilled that you were able to come on. So wish you all the best, and we'll speak to you soon.
Thanks so much, Tim. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Good night, and take care. See you soon. Thank you so much, Rowan. Thank you to all of you that were here and, asking questions and commenting in the chat. Really appreciate that back and forth. And if you are interested in any of these opportunities, head on over to loveworkathome.com. I also wanted to remind you about the Online Teaching Summit coming up, Scale to Success, on August the 5th and 6th. You can go to onlineteacherdude.com/scale and grab your ticket. It is next Friday, and I'm excited to be talking about websites and the things that I'm doing in my business. So would really love to see as many folks there as possible. And as always, have a wonderful day, and I will see you next Monday, same time, same place, with another interview. We are going to be talking about all that's going on in China next week, and some of those implications for us potentially as online teachers. So have a great day, everyone. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you soon.